What's up, guys? Courtney Cox here in the PNC Bank Sports Corner. I'm at Nesson, but Olivia's dad, also known as Doug Kyde, is at home. Patriots, we got to talk about them because free agency kicking off on March 17th. We are slowly crawling towards it, Doug. But today we're going to focus on the offensive line. And two guys in particular I want to kick things off with. David Andrews, Joe Thuney, two guys that are free agents this offseason.
Yeah, two big names in there. Center David Andrews, a captain. Joe Thuney was franchise tagged last offseason. Can't really imagine that happening again this offseason because he would be making 20% more than he did last year. So if those two sides can't reach a long-term agreement, which they haven't been able to for 2 or 3 years now at this point, then I can't see Joe Thuney returning. The strongest case would be to re-sign Joe Thuney and then maybe release someone like Marcus Cannon just to, find some funds in that offensive line to pass on to Joe Thuney. David Andrews, I do expect to be back. I'm not sure what the market is going to be like for free agent centers this offseason, just because there's not a lot of money to be spent. We still don't know the salary cap number, but it seems like it is going to drop about $15 or $20 million. So I can't necessarily see teams rushing out to spend top dollar on a center when there's wide receivers, tight ends, defenders, and even a guard like Joe Thuney out there available.
Well, a lot of people, a lot of fans, especially in New York, are hoping to see the Jets go after Joe Thuney. So kind of doing the reverse here, when you are on the Patriots side of things, is there anybody, a free agent on other teams that you could see the Pats kind of go for this offseason?
There definitely are a couple. I think that what the Patriots would probably try to do first is try to build up from within. Michael Onwenu was a guy who was drafted in the 6th round last year. He could start at either right tackle or left guard. Justin Herron was another rookie last year who could find a bigger role. But there are some names out there on the free agent market. One is one that should be familiar to Patriots fans. Ted Karras, actually a free agent again this offseason. He signed a 1-year deal with the Miami Dolphins last year, and he's a guy who can play guard or center in the NFL. So Patriots did lose Thuney or Andrews at center, then maybe they could re-sign Ted Karras. He might only be gone for 1 year, and he's a guy, again, who I can't see making that much money on the open market. He did have a good year last year with the Miami Dolphins, but there's just that cap issue where some of those free agents are going to be forced to sign short 1-year deals just as prove-its until the salary cap rises again in 2022.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I remember correctly, Ted Karras was a Doug's bud when we were in Minnesota for the Super Bowl, so maybe you could put in a few words there?
He's one of the top Doug's buds of all time. He might have been the first ever Doug's bud. So yeah, I'll try to get Ted back on board in New England. I don't think it will take that much prodding. He did always like being in the New England area. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'd love to get Ted Karras back in New England, but yeah, we'll just have to see what happens there on the offensive line otherwise.
All right, well, there you have it. Doug, thanks so much. And like I said, we are creeping towards free agency opening March 17th. So every week this offseason, we will highlight a different part of the Patriots to see what's really going to happen with this team in 2021. We're hoping for a better time than 2020. PNC Bank, helping to make banking easier.